Hello everybody, my name is Jason, also known as AspieDad. I have a lovely Facebook page, check it out. And for Autism Acceptance Month, I thought I would do a meme reacts video. So, bit of background on me, I am a father of two gorgeous little girls, one of which is quite possibly on the spectrum. I myself have the official diagnoses of autism spectrum or Asperger's. With ADD, with ADHD traits, and dyspraxia, so I'm kind of in the know. I also work with young people on the autism spectrum and related neurodiversities. I communicate with a lot of other advocates and supporters of people on the spectrum, many of which are on the spectrum themselves, and I'm basically involved in lots of autistic things, including the Great Autism Conspiracy, which there's nothing sinister about it. We're basically just trying to get all foods to be the right consistency. And considering many of us need different consistencies for our foods, that's not going well. Yeah, so I have selected a number of wonderful memes about autism or neurodiversity, and I'm going to be reacting to them and giving a bit of explanation of some of the whatever behind them. Let's just get started. You should see the meme up here. Very good. Autistic people after inventing vaccines to give more people autism. Business is booming. I'm not sure what that's from. I assume some sort of animated movie. But yeah, one of the big, pervasive, or ongoing myths about autism is that it is caused by, I think it's the MMR vaccine or something. Vaccines do not cause autism. Okay. There was one study done in the 70s or 80s, I think. The guy who did the study later admitted that he'd made the whole thing up, and none of it was even done to research standard. And there have been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of research papers and analyses and scientific, studies done to determine the relationship between different types of vaccines and the neurological state of being autistic. And the overwhelming findings are that vaccines do not cause autism. But I like the implication with this one that, like, we're autistic people are making vaccines so that there's more of us. That's how autism is portrayed in the media. What autism actually looks like. We are all different. Yeah. So, we often have these stereotypical perspectives on what autism is, and media is great because on the one hand, it raises awareness of the fact that autism exists and that autistic people can be really amazing and we can do all of these really cool things. On the other hand, it tends to present us in a very stereotypical light, over-exaggerating some of the negative qualities of being on the spectrum, or that some of us might have being on the spectrum. It also tends to be very monotonous in its portrayal of autism. An example is The Good Doctor, or Big Bang Theory. Sheldon is portrayed very much. They don't say he's autistic, but most of us kind of get the gist that this guy is on the spectrum somewhere, and a lot of his idiosyncrasies or quirks, if you like, kind of come across that way. Yeah. So autism is not an exclusive state of being. It's not like if you're autistic, you can't then be in a wheelchair, or you can't then, be female. Autism can slot in with any number of other things. It's not an exclusive condition. It's not mutually exclusive to be autistic. So yeah, we look like all sorts of different things, really. There's no one look. The ability to speak does not make you intelligent. First off, love Star Wars. Fantastic. Liam Neeson did a great job of portraying, I felt, Qui-Gon Jinn in The Phantom Menace. Nerd warning here. A lot of times, we have this assumption that because somebody isn't able to communicate how they feel or what they want verbally, that there must be something kind of broken up here. It happens a lot, I think, with people with selective mutism, with different intellectual disabilities, and autism quite frequently. The fact of the matter is that a person's ability to speak is not directly connected to their ability to think. They are two different parts of a person, and for whatever reason, might be social anxiety or the situation or any number of other factors, a person might not have the capacity in any given moment to actually say what they're thinking or feeling or where they're coming from. But that doesn't mean that they aren't listening and that they don't understand. Flappy hands or happy hands. Autistic seal of approval. I like that. Uh, I love the little bit of wordplay there. The seal of approval. That's a good language pun. I like that. So, flappy hands, we're talking about this sort of thing, right? So, if you are on the autism spectrum, you will be familiar with something called stimming. If you're not, stimming is any sort of physical movement which is being used as a stress release or as a self-regulation mechanism. So obviously clappy hands, we're directly referring to an autistic person doing this, which you may see particularly in children. My daughter does it in any number of circumstances. But any like picking your nails or fidgeting or repeatedly touching your face, usually in repetitive motions, all can be considered stimming or any number of things. Basically, if it's a physical movement that a person is doing to regulate or manage their emotional state, it's stimming. No, my child doesn't look autistic, and you don't look ignorant, but here we are. There is no autistic look, right? You can't tell somebody is autistic just by the way they look. I mean, if you are on the autism spectrum and you sort of understand how we work and the different traits in that, you can generally pick another autistic person out by observing them, by kind of comparing their mannerisms or the things that they might do or say or the way they speak. But generally speaking, just looking at somebody like a snapshot, you can't figure out if they're autistic. And on the other hand, if somebody says, hey, I'm autistic, and you go, oh, you don't look autistic, congratulations, you just said something very offensive. It's not a compliment. It's not empathizing with us to say that. It's not reassuring. It just makes you seem ignorant. Yeah, so that was me reacting to a bunch of autistic memes or neurodiversity memes. If you like that, let me know, and if people really enjoyed it, I'll find a whole bunch more and do some reactions to those. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day and stay awesome.